Hey friends, have you ever had a week where you have nothing left in your fridge and it's dinner time and you haven't done groceries in a little while? Well, this is where I'm at right now. Let me show you my fridge. All right, so we just moved. We just moved in and I really haven't had time to do much. So I've got some eggs, a little yogurt. I made pancakes today. I had flour, I could do that. I have a cabbage and some mushrooms. Let's see what's in here. I got some carrots, woohoo, and cucumber and a few things, but really not much else. Some olives. So anyways, I'm gonna work with this today. Okay, so I really just want to show you how you can take very little things and make a gorgeous meal out of it with really simple ingredients. And you know, throwing some epicure in there is going to create that delicious flavor that everybody's going to love. And so here we go. All right, so I've got some cabbage. I'm going to use my Prep Pro chef knife. This is a beautiful knife, guys. This is like ceramic, black ceramic, and it's super sharp, stays sharp really long. And it cuts beautifully. Now, I'm only just going to use it to slice it in half so that it fits on my mandolin. I'm going to show you how I use my mandolin for easy prep, and we're going to go from there. So here we go. So you want to cut it just so that it fits nice, like in a quarter, right? And then that fits beautiful on your mandolin, just like that. And then we are going to use our, let me see, can't forget the guard. Okay, the guard is super important because you don't want your fingers getting chopped off. This is super, super sharp. Okay, so I do want to show you before I start slicing that there are some different blades, or not blades, plates, so that you can have different sizes of cabbage. Okay, so this one is a 3.5 millimeter, and I just did up a little bit, but it's a little bit thicker. Not too thick, but thick enough, right? If you want big chunks like that, you can have that. I actually like it really thin. It feels more like a noodle to me, right? So I'm going to take my 1.5 millimeters. It looks very similar. It's just a little thinner. And it's quite simple. You're just gonna pop it in, just like that. You're gonna hear it pop in, and then we'll slice it. Now that also comes with some different teeth. So you've got a nice julienne here where you get a fatter julienne or a really nice small julienne, and they just pop in really simple. And for cleaning purposes, they're simple too because you can just rinse them under the water and they're nice and clean. So here we go. You're gonna hear it go in. You've got the prongs in there, and we're just going to slide it back and forth very quickly. And like I said, it's super sharp. I'm going to show you what we got here. Now this is super thin. Look at how thin that is compared to the last one I showed you. Super thin. And we're just going to, I'm putting it in my steamer right now. I'm going to finish this up, and then I'm going to show you how I'm going to cook it. All right, so I'm just gonna, was a few pieces that were kind of bigger. I'm just gonna finish them off with a knife. So what I've done is I just put it in the steamer, and I'm just gonna put the lid on, no water, nothing. You can add spices here if you want, but I'm not gonna do that till I'm adding everything together. And then I'm gonna steam that in the microwave for about a minute and a half. And because it's gonna be like a casserole style, I'm not gonna cook it too much, just about a minute and a half, maybe 2 minutes, depending on your microwave, and that'll steam beautifully. Now, let me tell you about the steamer for a second. This locks in all the nutrients in here, all right? So you are not boiling all the nutrients out, and you really don't need a lot of time to cook it. So you are holding on to those beautiful nutrients from your food. It's not going anywhere. This is a food grade, safe silicone. It doesn't leach out weird chemicals. And it's just awesome. It will make your life so much easier. If you haven't tried, this is amazing. Okay, so I'm gonna put that in for about a minute and a half. All right, so I'm gonna brown up just some meat. I've got a pound of meat here-ish, a pound of meat. And then I wanna show you also that you can put noodles in the microwave, which is kind of crazy. So I've got my meat masher. I'm just gonna mash this up. We're gonna brown the meat up. And I'm using my wok. The wok is beautiful. We've got a non-stick coating that's awesome. And we're just gonna let that brown out. Now there's all kinds of things you can do for flavor, all right, with epicure. So I'm gonna just show you a few things that I do. Let me get my noodles in, and we'll just go from there. So I just have a gluten-free noodle, and I've got my steamer again, the same one that I just did the cabbage in. I just switched the cabbage over, and you could use any kind of noodle, really. We're gonna put that right in, and you just wanna make sure that your noodles are covered with water, and that's it. And then I'm gonna do about 11 minutes in the microwave. Of course, you could boil this on the stovetop. We have a gorgeous multi-pot that has the strainer right in the lid. I'm gonna show you that in just a second. You can also use that. That's amazing too. So I'm going to cover it. We're going to microwave it for about 11 minutes, and that'll have your perfect noodle. All right. So here's the multi-pot that I was telling you about. So this is awesome. First of all, it has the strainer on the lid, so you can boil your pasta and your rice and then strain it so you don't have all the extra dishes. And then it has the measuring system right inside. This is the 8 cup. Then we've got the 12 cup. I think the 12 cup is actually, one of them is out of stock right now. They're very popular. Anyways, and then it's got the glass lid so you can see what's happening while it's, cooking up. So that is a great little tool too that you can use. Now, okay, so let's talk flavor, because it's all about flavor, and adding delicious spices can really change up your meal in literally minutes. So I'm gonna let that brown up, and this is actually where I put my seasonings right in. Now you can do a few things. You can do like a marinara style with just very mild oreganos and things like that. This is it's very herby, red bell pepper, onion kind of flavor. You can go completely different and go like Greek. So this is our Greek dressing. Fantastic for all kinds of things, especially if you love Greek flavors. This is delicious. So this would totally have a different flavor. You can make this exact same meal. Remember, I'm making something out of nothing. That's what I always say. What do I have in my fridge? Okay, how can I create something delicious? And that's what I'm doing. So, and you could have the exact same things and have totally different flavor in your casserole, which is so cool, right? Now, I am gonna go ahead and use the Greek because I've got feta cheese in my fridge. So we're gonna do a Greek style, whatever this is, this concoction, and it's gonna be absolutely delicious. So we're gonna go Greek. You could also go, if you like a little heat, you might wanna go the feisty green. Now, feisty greens are like a spicy pesto. It's absolutely delicious with a little kick, So you could do something like that. You can go Mexican flavors and go taco seasoning or poco picante or something like that and have a completely different flavor in there as well. So do you see how different you can create a meal? Again, it's all about the flavor and really beat that food boredom, okay? With the same similar ingredients, you can create all these great things. If you are vegetarian or vegan, you can totally substitute your protein. Obviously, you can do your beans. Add beans to this. I always have a can of beans in there. So, if you don't have any meat in the fridge, that's another thing. You always have just a can of beans, or, I've never tried it with tofu. I don't know if that would work, but I'm sure you could make it work. Or like a vegetable, what is it called? The TVP kind of thing? I don't know. Anyways, there's lots of options that you could do. So let's go ahead and add our Greek flavors to that. Okay, so I'm adding about a tablespoon in there. I know it seemed like a lot more than that, and I don't really measure, so there we go. I'm just going to go ahead and stir that up, and I'm also going to add, oh no, I don't even have any 3 onion. Typically I would add 3 onion to that, but I am totally out. So anyways, you can play around with those flavors. So all I did, you can add a little salt to that. Of course, these guys don't have any salt. This one doesn't have any salt at all. So if you wanted to add a little bit of salt, you can totally do that. That's the beautiful thing about Epicure, right? It's all very low to no sodium is in most of our blends. So that's exciting. Then you have control over how much salt you put in there, right? So that's it. We're gonna let that brown up, and then we'll put it all together. All right, so I've got beautifully brown meat. I have decided actually to put a little bit of toasted onion. I said 3 onion earlier, but I need onion. I love a little onion in there. This is toasted. This is actually a really nice touch to finish off a casserole or something like that. Or if you just want, an onion in there. So 1 teaspoon actually, 1 teaspoon for real is 1/4 of a medium-sized onion. So that's pretty awesome. All right, so I want to show you, we're just gonna mix that together. So I did my noodles, and you'll notice I did strain them off, and you'll notice too that I put it on a plate just so that it's not flimsy, right? Especially when you have water in there, it can get a little flimsy. So I strained it off with my collapsible strainer, and I'm gonna just put it back in there. I am gonna put it right into my wok here, but I'll do that in a moment. We are going to go ahead and add our steamed cabbage to that. I like to add veggies. You know me, if you know me. I gotta sneak in the veggies everywhere I can. Cabbage is really cheap, and like I said, I don't have anything else in my fridge right now, so there you have it. I am gonna also add a can of crushed tomatoes, something else I found in my pantry, which is something I typically keep on hand most of the time. So just a can of crushed tomatoes. You don't have to put this in. Again, I'm looking for more veg and more nutrition. So here we go, adding that in, and we're just going to mix it all together. Then I'm gonna go ahead and add my noodle. This is gonna be a big meal. We are a family of 5, so this makes a lot of food, and I'm excited because I can't get groceries today, and it will be not until tomorrow evening. So this is gonna be some leftovers for us tomorrow. It's gonna make a delicious meal for us. Doesn't that look delicious? Okay, so we've got all that gorgeous flavor. Now the cool thing is, I'm also gonna add feta cheese, right? Because I said it's gonna be like a Greek style. So I'm just gonna go ahead, and you don't have to add this, or you can just add any cheese you have, really. But this is gonna give it that nice salty flavor, which is why I didn't add any salt, because this will give us a lot of that beautiful salty flavor. The kids love noodles, so this is always gonna be a hit in our family. Now you can go ahead and put it right back in your steamer, which actually is what I'm gonna do, because I just wanna be able to put it in my fridge, and then when I'm ready for dinner, I'll just pop it back and heat it up in the microwave. And that beautiful feta cheese is gonna get all melty and delicious. And voila, there's dinner. Now, typically, I would also add a green salad to that because I'm a veggie fanatic, except, like I said, I don't have anything. But this is going to be super hearty and delightful to have for supper. Now, if you are doing a Mexican style, you can think about, like we talked about beans, we talked about, you could add corn to that if you have it, or peas, or whatever frozen vegetables you might have in the freezer. I have none. Again, this is making something out of nothing. So here you go. I hope you enjoyed that quick, easy meal. And I know that it's going to be delicious. And I know my kids are going to love it. So that's always awesome. Anyway, I hope you're having a fantastic day. We'll chat with you all soon.